You also just recently made the commencement speech at your alma mater, Notre Dame, where you basically took the spot that Joe Biden, our president, was supposed to take. And that's such a big honor to fill in the shoes of the sitting president and then, getting to give the commencement speech at Notre Dame. Did you have any trepidation or anxiety? And how'd you get over it?
Yes is the answer to that. I got a call that evening from our president, Father John Jenkins. I said, "Hey, John, everything okay?" And he said, "Well, Jimmy, we have a problem and I have a solution." And I said, "Well, good, then you don't need me." And he said, No, you're the solution." And then he told me, that he asked me to do this. And I said, "Look, John, I can get you somebody to do it. I mean, we'll get Condoleezza Rice, or I'll get Cardinal Dolan. We'll get someone good, And he was like, "No, I want it to be you, because it's the anniversary of 9/11, 20 years, and these kids have had a tough year, but I think it'd be healthy for them to hear your story a little bit." And I was not going to do it. I called Father John the next day and I said, "Look, John, if you have 30 people in a bar you want me to talk to, I can do that. Notre Dame Stadium with 25,000 people, with all the academic people there, this is not for me." And he said, "Look, that's it. My mind's made up." And I made a deal with him that if he got a last minute call from Washington, D.C., I wanted to bow out and let the president do it. And you won't do that? And he said, "No, I won't do that." I said, "Well, that's our deal." And he said, "Okay." And then he announced that I was speaking fairly shortly after that. So he outmaneuvered the Wall Street banker. But I guess in terms of trepidation, nervousness, I was extremely. Sunday, when we were walking out, now it was real time. Now the graduates are all, their families are all there. I've had most people say, knock it out of the park. So either the expectation was high, and of course a few others were probably dying I'd fall on my face, which I have a way of doing that to people. But when we were coming in with the chairman of the board, Jack Brennan, and President Father Jenkins, and myself, I was really nervous. And I basically said, "Look, boys, if I flop here, it's going to be bad. It's bad for me. It's looking like you two guys look like a couple of dum-dums." And I think Jack said, "I know." And Father John, he said, "I've never been more comfortable with anything I've done as president than what I'm doing right now." And that made me think back to that Herman and Chris, and to when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling your most vulnerable. If you have a good friend, they can instill that confidence in you. They can give you that thing that you can't get on your own. We went in, and then his introduction was terrific. It was real. It was basically no one that sat in these seats in 1978 would have guessed that Jimmy Dunn would be giving the commencement at some point. Certainly not his, certainly not his features and this and that. And that calmed me a little bit. He said, except for his closest of friends. And it was perfect.